So, welcome everyone. This is Castantino, and I finally got around to seeing Kong Skull Island. So, what did I think? Well, I'm not going to get into the whole storyline because it was a kaiju movie. It was a kaiju movie. It was basically everything I expect from a kaiju movie. It had big monsters beating the shit out of each other. The thing I didn't expect was that I actually gave a shit about the humans, because they actually played a pivotal role in this thing. I know, right? Crazy. Or at least they did for me. The movie, it was a kaiju movie. You can take it or leave it. But yeah, it was basically a kaiju movie. It was smaller monsters, because we're not talking like Godzilla. We'll be talking about Godzilla later. But, yeah, it was Kong fighting lizard crawler things. It was pretty awesome. I got a kick out of it. It gave me my kaiju jollies. The humans, I said, I was surprised actually, because usually in these kaiju movies, humans are basically those characters that you're like, oh, that's so cute. Look at them. Look at them. You think that's cute? Look at their little tanks. Look at those little guns. Shit. Oh, that's so adorable. You see how Godzilla's just, it's kind of walking past, doesn't care if, oh, he's acting like it's some, like it's just a fly, you know. Just ignore it. That's so adorable. Stuff like that. Not this movie. This movie, they actually did damage. Everything from pissing off Kong by bombing his island to prove something, which I'll get into when I talk about the characters, to trying to kill him, because their guns actually did damage. Their weapons, well, their vehicles did damage when Kong tries to grab one of the helicopters by the tail with the rotor back there. And yeah, they actually do some damage to Kong, and they actually prove to be a threat to Kong. It was a great kaiju movie, I thought. It had big ass monsters fighting each other. It had big ass monsters fighting each other. And it had that surprise moment where the humans were actually doing stuff aside of stuff that was ultimately could be like, okay, that's cute. I don't care. I don't care. That's cute. Like, I'll get into stuff like my Godzilla stuff later in the next one, which will be Godzilla. Let's talk about the characters. Now, I said that I did like the human characters in this movie. I did. John Goodman's character I actually liked, you know. He had a reason for being there. He made it well known why he was there. Well, not to Sam Jackson and his military guys, but it was, you knew why he was there. He had an idea of why he wanted to go, because he worked for Monarch, or he created Monarch, one of the two. His assistant, can't remember the characters' names, okay? So please, sorry. His assistant, who has this theory of the hollow earth, he goes with him. They take another assistant, an Asian woman, and I'm going to say right off the bat that the two assistants should have had more time on screen. They should have had bigger parts, because there were other characters that just were... I'll get to them. they were there. Let me just say that they were there for star power. I know they were there for star power. That was it, because those characters were completely inconsequential to everything. You could tell they were just jammed into this story for nothing. So they yeah, those three. They get assistance from Sam Jackson and his team military guys, and this is all right on the heels of Vietnam. So just so those who don't know, that's where this movie's taking place, and they're trying to get over there. So Sam Jackson's team, he's going with John Goodman and his two assistants to this thing, and they pick up a photographer played by Brie Larson, stars in this movie as a photographer, and Tom Hiddleston, Loki, the guy who played Loki, is also in it as a tracker. These two characters should have, no joke. Well, these two characters should have been the two assistants. Everything these two did should have been those two. Tom Hiddleston played a tracker. Completely worthless. Completely worthless the entire damn movie. He had one spot where a guy that crash landed during a dogfight with a Vietnamese jet fighters. They both crashed on there. So he's been on there since I think he's been on there 10 years. I don't know. But yeah, he's been there for a while. Hiddleston's character is completely pointless. Like, as I said, there is no reason for this guy. He's not a mercenary. He's literally just a tracker. And they already have military people going with it. None of the military people could have been your tracker. You had to get this guy, this nobody. Like I said, these people are here for star power. And don't even get me started on why Brie Larson's character was here. She was there, well, I know why she was there. She was there to take pictures, which could have been done by one of the assistants. I'm not saying they had to be a badass, but that part could have been played by... Hiddleston's character could have been played easily by any one of the military guys. Like, Brie Larson's character could have been played by the Asian assistant. The characters were just so damn forced into this movie. Like, these two characters could have been two other people that were already in this movie completely. It was so obvious they were just pushed into this film to be for star power. I know some people, I have heard that some people said that Brie Larson wasn't good in her acting was bad in this thing, to which I say, what do you want? She had nothing to work with. Literally nothing. There was nothing to work with. At least, she... It wasn't like the Brie Larson... And I would love to know what happened here. Why don't we get more of this Brie Larson? The Brie Larson that... she looks like she's having a good time. Maybe she wasn't. I don't know. But she looks like she's having a good time with the part and all of this stuff. Almost as if she knew she didn't have... her character should not have been... has no business being in this movie. Her character in this was so more energetic, but she was not boring. She wasn't. This is the complete opposite of Captain Marvel. Okay? Complete opposite of Captain Marvel. That was this character. And that's the only good thing I could say about the character. Hiddleston's was... I can't say anything good about him because his character was just there. He had one scene where he took the katana off of the guy who crash landed. I talked about. I didn't talk much about him. He's got a boat that he built with the Vietnamese guy that they were going to use but never did for whatever reason. And he took the katana he had from the his Vietnamese friend, and cut down a bunch of birds that were attacking them in this one scene. And that was it. That was literally his that was it. Brie Larson's big moment was throwing a match at a skull crawler and lighting a bunch of gas. Well, actually, her big moment, still involved a skull crawler, was getting smashed, thrown off a cliff, getting knocked out, falling into a lake, being picked up by Kong, only to nearly get swallowed by a skull crawler. In the end, as I said, the movie itself wasn't bad. I think it gets kind of I don't know why people... Well, I don't know why a lot of people don't like it. I know why some don't, and just because Brie Larson's in it. But what do you want? Brie Larson didn't do anything. She didn't have anything to do. She was literally given a character that had no business being in the story just to freaking have that pretty girl for Kong to look at. And even then, most of the time, he kind of... Okay, cool. Except for he basically already... Other than when the only times he did anything with attack the humans was when they were attacking him. Like they attacked him with the helicopters. He went after them. They frickin' started shooting at him. He went after them. There was one scene where one of the army guys, can't remember his name, he was at a lake. Suddenly Kong comes out of nowhere. Kong sees him, but he doesn't do anything. He just kind of looks at him. Hey. And then goes about his business. So, which shows, even this guy should have had a bigger thing. But unfortunately, he gets eaten by one of the skull crawlers. And that's the other thing. Hiddleston's character. Here's your. I think as far, and you notice I haven't been talking much about John Goodman's character. John Goodman's character is basically, he's basically he's the guy who gets everything together, and eventually what's a good way of putting this? He ends up getting killed. Can't remember why or how. I think it was during the attack with the skull crawlers. I think he gets eaten. Yeah, he gets eaten. Because he was trying to take pictures. Why the hell was Brie Larson's character in this movie? I don't know. But he was taking pictures. And he got eaten because his camera's flash suddenly went out of whack and started... Which gave an awesome effect because the skull crawler that ate him, suddenly its stomach was flashing. So, one more thing. Let me talk about Sam Jackson's character. Sam Jackson's character was pretty... Okay, he was pretty good. He played a character who just got off of war. He's been with his troops for years, I think. So when they started getting killed by Kong, he of course has a personal vendetta against Kong. So he wants to kill the monkey. He wants to kill the monkey at any cost. He, eventually they end up, Kong gets knocked out because he gets worn out when they set a lake up in flames and stuff. And they set up mines all over him, explosives and shit, which they were about to blow. They're getting ready to blow up before the large skull crawler comes out of nowhere. So, so this whole time they're trying to tell him we need to get off this island, but he's like, no, damn it, we're going to go and we're going to kill this motherfucker. Because it's Sam Jackson, so everything's got to be a motherfucker. And honestly, I thought this moment, I shouldn't have laughed, but I did because I'm a sadistic asshole. But Sam Jackson starting to call Kong a motherfucker right to his face, only for Kong to basically squash him. It was like Kong just did what every character would have loved to do, that Sam Jackson always end up killing. Everybody else that gets called motherfucker by Sam Jackson usually ends up dead. And then Kong did that. Yeah. I admit, I got a chuckle out of that. Just because of exactly what I said. Because he calls everyone a motherfucker, and it's like nobody ever did anything about it. Kong did. So, yeah. So that's basically what my review of that. My opinion on Brie Larson in this movie. Basically, no one could have done better than her. No one could have done better because there was nothing to do. She was literally just there for star power and because they needed a pretty lady. Yeah, I'm really glad I finally saw that. So that's my take on Kong. Kong Skull Island. So anyway, yeah, this is Castino. If you like all the YouTube stuff, I don't know where these buttons are. And I will see you in the next episode. Take care, everyone.